This video contains discussion of real-life violence and harm to children, which some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The content is intended for informational and educational purposes only.
Right now, Shreveport police are questioning a woman they believe threw two children off of the I-220 bridge into Cross Lake. One of those children died. The other is currently in the hospital. What we know tonight is police say they first got a call around 11 a.m. about a small child found dead in the water. This afternoon, police arrested the woman they believe is responsible at the Texas and Louisiana state line. Multiple agencies spent hours searching for a possible third child. They used helicopters and boats, and some neighbors even volunteered to search with their own boats. Hours later, police learned that third child was not in the water and is currently safe.
On September 24, 2021, tragedy struck at Cross Lake in Louisiana. A mother, Ureka Rochelle Black, stands accused of throwing her two young sons into the water. One would drown, the other would survive, and later point to her as the perpetrator. Today, we're diving into every twist and turn of that chilling case. What happened, what the evidence says, how the trial went, and where things stand now. Welcome to Crime the Eway. Let's begin. On that fateful day in 2021, Black allegedly took her sons to Cross Lake. According to prosecutors, she threw them off a bridge into the water. The infant, Joshua, tragically drowned. Elijah survived, pulled from the water, and later gave a harrowing account that would become central in court. From the start, the case drew intense media and public scrutiny, not only for its shocking nature, but the questions it posed. Why would a mother commit such an act? What psychological or legal defenses might exist? How compelling is the surviving child's testimony?
Straight out of swamp where the pain don't sleep, digging through the truth where the crime runs deep. From the bottom to the top, let the facts all spray. Welcome to the grind, this crime the Eway. The streets don't lie, they scream my name.
Every law enforcement official and firefighter here, every first responder, we all feel the same way.
Right now, Shreveport police are questioning a woman they believe threw two children off of the I-220 bridge into Cross Lake. One of those children died. The other is currently in the hospital. What we know tonight is police say they first got a call around 11 a.m. about a small child found dead in the water. This afternoon, police arrested the woman they believe is responsible at the Texas and Louisiana state line. Multiple agencies spent hours searching for a possible third child. They used helicopters and boats, and some neighbors even volunteered to search with their own boats. Hours later, police learned that third child was not in the water and is currently safe. KSLA News 12's Chandler Watkins has been on the scene since this started. She begins our team coverage with what's unfolded today. Chandler?
That's right, Corey. Authorities got the call at around 10:52 this morning. There was a small child's body that was floating underneath the Cross Lake Bridge in the water. Now, authorities were able to recover that child's body, and a short time later, were able to rescue another small child who was transported to Oshner LSU Health with life-threatening injuries. Several agencies then started the search for the possible third child in the water. SPD says investigators were able to confirm that child was somewhere else and is safe, but is not providing any other additional information at this time. Now, authorities that we've been speaking to say that it's just been a devastating day for everyone.
This is a tragedy, and we ask for prayers for the family of these children. Pray for our law enforcement officers who have been out here all day, all morning working on this. Our firefighters, Life Air, our dive teams, the Caddo Sheriff's Department and the Police Department. It's been a multi-agency effort.
And investigators believe that this was not a random incident. Now, like you said earlier, Corey, the authorities do have a suspect in custody. With more on that, we turn to Chief Investigative Reporter Stacey Cameron. Stacey.
Well, Chandler, that's correct. Authorities are saying it's a woman in her mid-30s, but right now police are not identifying that woman, and they have officially not said what her relationship is with the two children who she allegedly threw off this bridge into the water. Now, we know that shortly after the investigation started here with helicopters in the air and boats in the water, that authorities got a description of the vehicle. It was a gray Dodge Caravan with Texas license plates, we're told. They put out a bolo, and then mid part of the afternoon, an officer in Wascom, Texas, just across the state line, believed he had seen that vehicle. He went to the rest area visitor center, and sure enough, there was a gray Dodge Caravan meeting that description, Texas license plates, and he took the woman into custody. Late this afternoon, then Shreveport police brought that woman back to police headquarters where she is being questioned. I also know that I went to headquarters myself and saw several family members of the children, the one who lost his life and the other. They were there. They were speaking with investigators as well. And again, we want to say that authorities have not officially made a connection to that woman's relationship with the children. They have not identified that woman, but back here live right now, we know that they are looking into potential of several charges. Obviously, one would be murder of the child who lost its life here today, as well as attempted murder, child endangerment, and possibly several other crimes. We'll know those in the days to come. Corey?
All right, thanks, Stacey. Definitely a tragic day and story for everybody involved. Allegedly throwing two of her children from the Cross Lake Bridge back in September of 2021 appeared before a judge today. And KSLA News 12's Tamer Knight was in court today and joins us in the studio with the latest. Tamer, what can you tell us?
Bisky, aside from being in the courtroom today, I've been looking back at the case of Ureka Black, and I must say the details are horrific. In court today, Black chose to represent herself during trial. KSLA was able to obtain an incident report from a first responder that was initially dispatched to Cross Lake on September 24th, 2021. In the report, he details spotting 10-month-old Joshua Black floating face down in the lake before grabbing him out of the water. He says the infant's condition was at an advanced rigor mortis stage. It was after he and his partner left the scene, they were dispatched back to the same scene after reports of another child, Elijah Black, was found in the water but was breathing. The first responder says he assessed Elijah's vital signs while his partner conducted an interview to gather the details leading up to the 5-year-old being found in the lake. The interviewer asked Elijah if he remembers how he got in the water. Elijah says his mother rolled him in the water. He stated that his mother told him it was good water. When asked what he meant by that, he stated, "I don't know. My mom said it was good water," before rolling him over the bridge. Elijah was then asked if his mom also put his brother in the good water, and he said no, he was still in the car with his mom. Elijah told the first responder he was in the water for 5 hours. When asked how he knew it was 5 hours, he said, "I don't know. It just felt like 5 hours." After the incident, Ureka Black did claim insanity. However, after speaking with doctors, she was deemed competent to stand trial. Black is charged with second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder.
Good evening, I'm Alexandra Meacham. We begin tonight with the tragic news unfolding on Cross Lake this afternoon, where a child was found dead and another is fighting for their life. The details of this case are disturbing. Police say a woman in her 30s threw the children off of a bridge into Cross Lake. Shreveport police were called around 11 this morning after getting reports of a child's body floating in the lake. That child was pronounced dead at the scene. A Shreveport Marine Patrol officer found another small child in the water. They were rushed to the hospital in serious condition. A third child was found safe.
You know, we ask for the community's prayers and just understanding right now. We will get more information out as we can. This is a tragedy.
News at 4, life in prison. That's where Ureka Black will spend the rest of her days. She's a Shreveport mother convicted of throwing two of her children off the Cross Lake Bridge. 10-month-old toddler Joshua died. Her other son, Elijah, survived. Today, she was formally sentenced to life in prison on the second-degree murder charge. You can read the full coverage of her trial right now on our KSLA News 12 app.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like these.